he's saying is wrong. But again, it's Trojan Knight, so who knows? Never spelled Marianne's name right. Yeah, I haven't paid attention to that, but that obviously, yeah, doesn't feel great. I mean, it was said it was a New Era man. I'm pretty sure. From the original person that said that they saw someone. That someone said that they saw someone at the hospital or whatever. But I believe it was a New Era man. And also, I believe Tiffany lives in LA now anyway. Inner spoilers. Nothing else new, right? Like, I mean, like, obviously there's the Jared Fields thing is still a thing. Like, I think those are like the only two like reliable bits of information we have is the Jared Fields thing, which again, spoiler for that. Cirie, so like Jared posted a tweet saying he's disappointed that his brother gets to go on the family visit, not him, which he promptly deleted right after that, implying Cirie likely makes the family visit. So that is something, and then, or at least gets close to the family visit, at least enough to where his brother would be flown out. And then, yeah, the other thing is the medevac. That we know a medevac happens, and again, there are signs pointing to Kyle. I know there's also been a lot of I guess we could talk about the other speculation, right? Because there have been other names speculated. Even taking out the Kyle stuff. Like, I know some people, like, I believe the initial rumor was Emily, right? I think people were saying Emily got medevaced, but that just seemed to come out of nowhere. And like, I think it was just someone like joking saying that, but I think like I saw like a claim that like Christian was medevaced. Then I saw Colby was a big name talked about. But yeah, like Colby, I believe came from people thinking Colby just because like he like supposedly had like some health thing like recently. Not the hand, like he did like injure his hand. Someone recently, but that's not what I'm talking about. But like someone mentioned he had like some sort of like health thing within the last couple years. And that was like a reason he could get medevaced, but I don't believe that came from any like person with actual information. I've not seen any cast leaks for 27. What's the 49 stuff? I mean, again, it's the things we've been speculating. But essentially now, Survivor Unite saying that, again, spoiler for Survivor 49 if you care, that yeah, they think Savannah won 49.
What now, slave?
And that the alumni community as a whole thinks Savannah won 49. Which, again, at the end of the day, like, Survivor Unite, like, thinking that doesn't really matter, but, like, yeah, more so the fact that, like, they have heard from all their alumni sources that, yeah, they are thinking that Savannah probably won 49. But they, again, like, it's still speculative. Like, it's not like the alumni for sure know. Especially considering, like, they have had no time to, like, actually get to know Savannah or anything. But it does seem like it's just, like, the commonly assumed thing that it is looking like Savannah 149. Also, with a lot, or at least it looks like Savannah or Rizzo 1 to 2 in particular, especially considering Survivor Unite has said that they did hear that how the winners were handled is that they specifically wanted 3 winners. Again, don't know if that's true considering how much other unreliable stuff Survivor Unite has said. But yeah. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's essentially what we've been speculating anyway. Like, it doesn't, like, it's not anything that new outside of it's just like, hey, the alumni also think this. But yeah. Owen thought Cedric won 48, so alumni isn't super reliable. Well, that's kind of funny. Why do you think Cedric won 48? Like, why of all people Cedric? Hey, I think alumni are, like, I think some alumni are lying, or like just, I guess it's still lying. Yeah, I think, yeah, because like clearly Survivor Unite had some faulty information. Like so many of the people they have said like they've forgotten called, like were not called. By the way, they have continuously reiterated that Greg got cut, like in over the last day. Actually, specifically says that Greg got dropped is what they have specifically said. But still, it's like Like, it's just tough to take that like too seriously when they have like all this other stuff like completely wrong. Which again, I'm not saying that Sarge Knight's like making it up, but obviously I just think it's a spot where, dude, fuck me. What the fuck? What? That's insane. Overheard at an event apparently. That's what happened with like with Brian Hike's wiener stuff, right? Was I spent half? Okay, spent half of 48 thinking I was spoiling the winner. Cedric. A lot of the cast was in Nola for Steph's premiere. Cedric was in a nice hotel. Overheard someone say if I had won, I would have stayed there. Oh, well, that's kind of funny. But yeah, like that's what happened with Brian Hike's wieners. A lot of his like information. Like that's why Jonas was even talked about. It's like because like supposedly people were like overhearing talk about Jonas at the that charity event, like the charity event in Celebration, Florida, or whatever. So it just feels like all the information spread there just seems to be like fake or whatever. Imagine his source was Owen. Oh. 48 ended being spoiled on Reddit. I don't believe so. 48 never got spoiled, right? Wait. Actually, no. I feel like I remember. Didn't someone mention that like Kyle's friend or something spoiled it? That's like spoiled that Kyle won. But like it wasn't like a spot where it wasn't like from a like insider or anything. But it was like Kyle's friend or something spoiled something that implied Kyle won. Oh, I'm an idiot. I had the wrong weapon out. Let's. Okay, cool. Great.
You've nowhere to run now.
It was this on Instagram.
My part is plain.
I do want
The
to
Brotherhood
yeah,
is
stop.
not so weak that my death will stop its work.
What brotherhood?
Everyone from One World though, Jonas would be a fun return. I wouldn't be opposed to a Jonas return
Upon the Holy
in general,
Land. And that's all.
what was this?
Then we are finished. Beg forgiveness from your god.
He's long abandoned us.
What is this post?
Long abandoned the men and women I took into my arms.
Okay, cool.
What
It
do you
fucking went
mean?
by the
Beggars,
thing.
whores, addicts, lepers. Do they strike you as proper slaves?
Oh fuck me! It went back.
Unfit for even the most menial tasks? No. I took them not to sell, but to save.
Tarzan's Riz God, obviously.
For no other reason than it was asked of you.
No. You profit from the war. From lives lost and broken.
Yes, you would think that, ignorant as you are. Wall off your mind, eh? They say it's what your kind do best.
Wait, why'd she post this? Like, why'd Carolyn post this?
Not yet, it seems.
Wonder what Kyle did to get medevac. If he's yeah, it's like if this is like I'm not even sure this part of the story is true. Like I feel like it's just again like feels very sketchy, right? Like I mean that would mean that his injury was obviously like big enough to where like they felt like they need to send him home immediately. Because more times than not, I don't believe like even if you're medevac, you're not like usually even like flown back to the States unless it's like something like really drastic. Like, I remember like with Caleb. Like Caleb didn't go home, right? Like didn't he go to like some sort of like it was like a hospital in Asia, I remember. I forgot what country exactly. Because I don't believe it was Cambodia. I don't know if it was like Vietnam or something. Like it was but either way, like he was still in Asia when he like was getting when he was like in the hospital and stuff. So it's like it would have to be something like really, really serious for Kyle to be flown home. So like I feel like that makes me believe it even less, even though it's like it was very flimsy to begin with. And I think considering the fact that like Sarge Knight now is not super confident in that, it does make me feel like I don't know if the Kyle info is reliable. Okay. But it is a name that is like heavily being talked about. Like that is a name that like on Redmond's Discord, like they're just openly talking about Kyle. Like Kyle's name's just openly being talked about. It's like the medevac. It was actually like a while ago. It was like a probably like a couple weeks ago. The hospital thing came up. I don't remember if it was from Twitter or Reddit, but it wasn't from like the Discord or anything. It was like, yeah, it was like publicly available. June 6th? I have no clue what fucking day it was. No, not June 6th. It was later than that. Like June 6th, probably when he got medevac. If like that'd be day 2, right? But no, it was like, yeah, it was probably like closer to like the 15th or so. Oh, it's 3 o'clock now. Yeah, Siraj Knight has already said that if they get the boot list, they're gonna leak it. So, I already said this earlier. It's like I think a week from now we might have spoilers out there.
The deed is done. Talal is dead.
Because I believe they spoiled Game Changers like a week after the season finished filming. So I'm expecting us to get 50 spoilers like very soon, which is a shame because it's gonna be very widespread. I feel like.
We can argue the details all you'd like, Malik, but the fact remains.
I'm considering it. I don't think I'll post it right away though. Like I think it's the sort of thing that I think it's irresponsible to post it before the season. Because I don't want to be like actively like spreading spoilers to a wider audience. Like I feel it's the sort of thing that I won't post until like after the season's finished filming. Like to where maybe I can make it like unlisted and like just like post it for people in chat or whatever, but yeah, I definitely won't be releasing it to the public until later. By the way, this is a section prone for the game crashing, so we'll see how this goes. I think I survived it. Yeah, alright, we're good. The Game Changers? I would assume Sandra, probably, right?
I trust you were successful.
The final 3 is Angela and Coach and Q. I mean, that would be fun. I think the problem with that is that I feel like I might accidentally get spoiled. Like, yeah, just accidentally. Like, without even, like, I think I might accidentally see, like, Survivors Unite spoiling it before I am able to do the reaction to it, but we'll see.
He saw it differently. Claimed they were not slaves at all, that he was helping them.
Do you know how it
Again, like, they talk. Like, you realize the cast talks to each other, right?
No.
Again, pre-mergers, like, 100% know what happens on the season.
I don't understand.
Like, Rome knew everything that happened on 47. Again, they know.
Always rationalized. Always explained.
So he lied.
We're going to be safe from spoilers? I don't think you can. If you're in the online community, it's going to be everywhere. YouTube comments is going to be all over the place. People are going to be openly talking about it on Twitter.
The men and women they were a strange sort.
Like, Reddit's probably going to try to do it, but, like, it's probably going to slip through the cracks here and there. I just think it's near impossible if you're in the online community.
And rebuild him. Give him all he's been denied with the promise of more.
It seems a lot of work.
It is.
Pretty much merge have zero communication or to go to jail, obviously. That's exactly how it works.
Knowing what it was they stood to lose.
Yeah, no pre-merger and post-merger has ever talked ever before their season aired.
See? There is still much I can teach you. Everyone deceives each other, themselves.
Yeah, that's the main reason why Rob and Amber were so upset to be split apart and that Amber was potentially going home. They wouldn't be able to talk at all.
Another rank is restored to you, as is a piece
Yeah,
of
imagine. Actually, generally, if they did actually get split up there, I don't know, who knows if they actually do end up together still by the end. But GLP shade David. I didn't even read the end of the post. Did he end up shading David by the end? God damn it. Amber would have broken up with Rob if she got voted out. I mean, I think the bigger question is like, would they have reconnected? Or has Rob moved on? I talk about the 50 stuff. I mean, do you want to be spoiled on 50 stuff or not? Because there is some minor stuff. Well, I don't know if minor is really the right term. Like, it's major if true, it's just that it's not guaranteed to be true, even though there's something that is guaranteed to be true. Where's the War was spoiled almost instantly. To be fair, it was spoiled incorrectly instantly, and then eventually was spoiled correctly later. Forget, Survivors Unite spoiled it, like, pretty quickly, but spoiled it with Nick winning instead of Tony. Like, the entire boot order was correct, except for it was Nick. Nick and Tony were swapped, because, like, alumni supposedly told them, like, intentionally told them wrong information. But, yeah, eventually people were leaking that Tony won. I think it was, like, probably, like, a month or two after filming, like still way before, like I think even before 39 aired, people knew Tony won. Pretty predicted Tony is winners, players to win by having a big target. Was that preseason or mid-season? If it was mid-season, I think that's, yeah, I would have thought Tony had a pretty good edit by that point. Preseason, I think it would have been a strange choice. Like, I was very low on Tony preseason. Episode 2? I can see it. I mean, like, I think by episode 2, like, I think his premiere is pretty good. Like, especially his opening confessional, like, perfectly, like, sets up his storyline about how people are gonna, like, underestimate him, and then he's gonna, I forgot what he exactly says, but he does the, like, he, like, undercuts them, or whatever, fucking, I forgot what it is. Either. GOP said at the end of the post, whoever set up blindside is the most humane way to put somebody down is an idiot. Hurts like a bitch.
What's going on?
Is that shading him, though? I don't know if that's shading David. Yeah, sucker punch, that's what it is, yeah. I mean... who would win a Kyle Joe Eva Final 3? What? I wonder who would win that Final 3. By the way, through listening to Eva's interview, like, she's, like, I feel like, I think she still has a, at least from what I've seen, again, obviously we don't have everything just yet, but by the way that Shaheen was talking, I did feel like Eva probably overestimated her, like, win equity. Well, she seems to talk about as if she still thinks that she could have won, in like, a whole bunch of scenarios, when it's like, I don't think she could. Wait, why am I opening the map? It's literally on there. Which, I do think Eva's game is intentional. I do think, like, probably people did not give her enough credit for how she's playing the game based on, like, the way she speaks about the game. But also, it's like, the problem with her game is the fact that just no one saw it. And, like, even though she was able to explain it pretty well at Final Tribal, it still wasn't to the point where, like, I think people were willing to actually vote for her, at least the majority of people, where, like, Shaheen, like, I think Shaheen in particular is somebody that, like, I don't think he was ever voting for Eva, no matter how good her performance was. Even needs Star and Say at the end to win? Probably. I mean, like, I think she could out-argue Joe. Like, if it was Joe, Eva, Star, like, I think there is a world where, like, Eva's able to out-argue Joe. But even then, it requires her to out-argue Joe. I think Joe is the person most likely to win just inherently. Where am I going? Am I going the wrong way? I feel like I'm not anywhere close. Oh, no, I am going the wrong way. Okay. I think it was Siva would win if they were in the final three. Yeah, I think like again, if Camilla and I think that's more of an anti-Joe and Eva thing. But like, if any of like I think Camilla, like if it's Joe, Eva, Camilla, if Camilla wins. I think if Mitch is there, Mitch wins. I think if Shaheen's there, Shaheen wins. If Mary's there, Mary likely wins. I'm not 100% on that though. I think it goes back to Star being the last person they probably had any chance against. And does Joe suck at Final Tribal? Like, literally no one, like, literally the jury is, like, talking about how, like, oh, all three of you did really well or whatever. And, like, even Shaheen, who talks about, like, yeah, like, Joe, like, we wanted more out of Joe, doesn't talk about Joe as if he, like, sucked at Tribal. It's more so just, like, yeah, Kyle did pretty well, and then, like, Joe didn't, like, play up to what exactly we wanted. But it's not like Joe, like, bombed Final Tribal or anything.
When you are exposed, throwing soldiers from rooftops and into structures.
From what I understand, Joe was essentially in the coach position. Coach in South Pacific. Where, like, if he owned up to his game and, like, talked about it... Wait, I'm in the right... Yeah, this is awkward. This is definitely awkward. But, like, talked about his game, like, as being an intentional one, I think he does, like, have a good chance of switching some votes over. But, like, he didn't. But at least for, like, Shaheen, though, it was Joe... It was a battle between Joe and Kyle more so than a battle between Kyle and Eva. Dude, okay. Oh, great. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I might as well just run through then. It's kind of a Mike turn. Mike Turner's a bit different, though, where Mike Turner... Because, like, it's a spot where, like, Mike Turner had the votes, and he lost them. Like, Joe never had the votes, but he could earn the votes, and he just didn't earn them. So like, that's more similar to Coach. Where, like, Coach also never had the votes. The votes were for Sophie to begin with. But he had people willing to change their minds if he just owned up to his game, and then he didn't, so they just never switched. Shaw's never voted for a woman to win. I guess. I mean, like, I think he votes for Camilla. Actually, I think that means that Shaheen's anti-autistic people. Because he never would have voted for Eva in particular. Shaheen's a terrible person. I assume Joe could have pulled Chrissy, maybe Shaheen. In which scenario we're talking about? Are we talking about like like in the actual Final Three, but if he changes performance? I think he could have switched a lot of people if he like fully owned up to his game. Or I think he could have even gotten David and like because the way Shaheen talks about it, at least is that like Chrissy was voting with David, that they were like kind of like a they were like voting together. Where's the bench? So like if Christy was willing to switch her vote, I think it's assumed that like David was willing to switch his vote. Yeah, I think Kyle and Camilla, or Kyle, Mitch and Camilla, yeah, probably always vote Kyle. Then what? Mary, I think, is always voting Eva. I think Star is one that probably could vote Joe. Actually, I believe Star was pro Joe initially, and then it was Eva's performance that switched. Where the fuck is the bench? Oh, there it is. I don't think David poisoned the jury against Joe. At least not actively.
You hear about a
I think he was pissed at Joe himself, but I don't think he, like, actively, like, made everyone else anti-Joe. I think all of them just looked at Joe as, like, a guy that's like spewing honesty, integrity, and
So I cover for him when I can.
You aren't there now.
No.
uh,
My family business.
Gonna look
on
at
my own
Sophie's
to
game
attend to.
favorably because
Then
of
he'd
coach.
best hope the
He knew she
doctor
would
doesn't
fumble.
learn of his desertion.
Or he would fumble.
Long as you stay silent.
Don't worry. Your
I
secret's
don't know.
safe
It's
with
like
me.
I can see both worlds. Like I do think with her, it's like at least it shows intentionality in how she played the game, and that it's not like she was like a coach minion. To where it's not like she was like being dragged by coach. It's like her intentionally wanting to go to the end of coach because she knows that he would fumble the bag. Which, like, yeah, she could had like obviously like 2 seasons worth of coach to realize that he would be able to do something like that. But I think there at least is like intentionality in her game to do that. Storming outside. It was storming earlier today where I live, but I don't think it's storming right now. Yeah, if Joe won, I think he is like one of the better winners. At least winning games, to clarify, in the history of the show. I don't even remember. I only did 1 mission, right? Cool. Let's do this points.
You're not supposed to be here. Leave. It's forbidden for you to be here.
Yeah, I think that's also a thing that probably frustrates some people is like just how tight Joe and Evo were. Yeah, I don't know if he did much legwork with people outside of his alliance. Okay. That's an annoying thing about this game, though. Also, too fair, it's like not annoying, but anyway, the fact that you do have to switch to Hidden Blade. She no agency. She cannot get her way throughout the season. I agree. I think 100%. I do think Coach. That's why I assess Coach so highly. Is because I do think Coach gets his way over. Like Sophie and Albert. Like despite the talking about how like yeah, Sophie and Albert were like dragging him to the end because they knew he'd be a go. It's like he does get his way over them multiple times on the season. Though again, I think there is like for Sophie, like I will credit her for how she was able to get Coach to want to take her to the end, though. Where I think like if Coach truly turned a new leaf and everything, then like why is he taking Sophie to the end? Where like if he's not playing this like honesty loyalty game, then it's like he probably is better off not taking Sophie to the end. And to be fair, I believe like either way he would have lost like to Rick and he would have lost to Brand Hands anyway. But like, I do think one of the main intentions of why he goes to against Sophie is just because of like blind loyalty to her. But there's also the factor of like immunity challenge wins also. Because they want people to beat Ozzy at the end. But then like why vote out Brandon over Sophie?
Ah, Altair. A little bird told me you.
Like
Mualim has ordered the
supposedly
execution
tomorrow's
of Gaze and approved,
the final
so
day.
there I am. What can you tell me about him?
He is the Grand Master of the Knights.
Like filming's
Hospitality.
literally about to be done,
Surely
even though there's a
keep
fucking video out there of
forces
Jeff Probst saying 50 is done.
Beyond that, I cannot say. I suggest you search the city. See what you can learn from the people.
It's right
Tell me where they gather and I'll see what I can find.
Dude, how did this take me? Like I don't understand. Like how did I do this last time?
There's an abandoned market northwest
In
as
3
well.
hours 43 minutes.
And Maria of Jehoshaphat's church to the west.
Last time was also in a spot where like it was before 46 started. I believe. It was the last time I played this.
Information, Rafik. It'll be put to good use.
See,
It's like it's not like there was that much going on at that time.